So when it comes to the Unity situation, Philip Paul Brunel, aka DSPGaming, in my opinion, had a very W win of a take. He is also a man who bursted on May 1st, 2016.
Yeah!
But when it comes to this, he had a point. So he had a burst on May 1st.
You blew it.
I received 0 contributions.
Skip it up and that up. So Unity is a game engine that is used across the board, whether it be mobile games, indie games, AAA games. Unity is a very popular gaming engine, and the CEO of Unity is John Riccitiello. Keep in mind, this is the same man that said back in 2011 when he was working for EA. I looked this up and verified it after someone told me in a live stream last night that he did this, that he started...
You blew it.
By the way, subscribe to RTU streams, link below in the description. Yes, that's a shameless plug. He said in 2011 that people should be charged to get more bullets in a game. So if they run out of bullets and they want to reload their weapon in a game like at the time would have been Battlefield 3, hey, let's charge them for more bullets, because at that point, if they're so into the game and need more bullets, they're gonna pay for it, and we could bankrupt people with, but you want to play our game? You want to keep playing it? You need more bullets? Guess it's time to pony up for some more bullets. Oh, you paid $60 for the game, but we're gonna charge you for more ammunition. He wanted to do that. He wanted to do that. Great guy. Love him. Well, John Riccitiello has moved on for a while now to be the CEO of Unity, the game engine. Well, this past Monday, in a blog update, they actually changed their policies, saying that starting January 1st, 2024, developers are going to have to pay a fee per game install. I'm not talking about extra money when someone buys the game. I'm talking about when you reinstall the game. I'm not kidding. So if, say, you have Cult of Lamb, which is made with Unity's game engine, in your Steam library, and if nothing changes with these policies, if you, on different devices, if you want to, say, I review a bunch of computers, I get a bunch of these like mini PCs, and INEO sends me stuff. So hey, I want to benchmark a Unity-based game on one of these 8,000 computers I have. Every time I would install one of these games on a new device, the developer would be charged a small fee. That can add up significantly. That's why developers are very, very angry. Now, I'll have a link to Unity's blog post where you could see like the details, the nitty-gritty of it, and things that are kind of opaque still, where developers are like, okay, am I going to get charged for this? Am I not going to get charged for this install? Because they walked back some stuff because of the backlash that Unity got, which was quite a bit. But here is the long and short of it. This comes from GamesRadar.com. Unity plans to begin charging game devs a fee for every install after their games reach thresholds based on downloads and sales over the past year. For example, if a game built in Unity Personal made $200,000 over the past year or 12 months and has been installed 200,000 times since launch, the developer will be charged a flat fee for every install. The engine's higher tiers, Unity Pro and Unity Enterprise, offer subscribers volume discounts that reduce the fee for installs. Unity says those discounts mean the price of the install fee can be offset by the savings as the game grows. Meanwhile, Unity Personal, which Unity says is designed for individuals, hobbyists, and small organizations,
you blew it.
And small organizations will just have to eat a flat 20 cents fee per install for the life of the game, which, if your game blows up, could be pretty insane. 20 cents can add up. Now, Unity makes money by sharing revenue already with developers and publishers that make successful products using the Unity engine. So, compounding this on top, which again, it's amazing to me that the installs count. It's not a purchase where they're taking extra money, where you purchased it and you download it as much as you want to. They're saying every time you install that game on a new device, the developer is going to get hit. It's a weird dynamic too, because then as a consumer, you know, if you want to install a game that you rightfully own on a new device, that it's gonna be a financial detriment to the developer and publisher. I just thought of that now. In a weird way, it kind of puts the consumer in an awkward position where it's like, wow, if I want to try this game on a new piece of hardware I have, it could be detrimental to the developers that made the game, and it could hit their bottom line, because I'm sure I'm not the only person that's doing this. Now, of course, there are a ton of developers that have used the Unity engine that are coming out against this because it could be very costly for them. Keep in mind one thing, though, that I have to make abundantly clear, and this would have been insane if they did it, but luckily they did not do this, is that it's not retroactive. So if your game had a bunch of installs and it was a free-to-play game or low-cost game using the Unity engine, they're not going to go back and be like, you owe us $2 per all of these installs. Good luck. Now, keep in mind, this is where things also get really weird. If Unity doesn't track your installs accurately and they go back and guess and audit their installs, they may charge you more up front, but then they're like, oh, hey, we overcharged you, so here's the money back we overcharged you. But what happens if that's an insane amount of money you overcharge them, and it puts the developer in a hole because they're a smaller developer who would be the ones that would actually be affected by this the most, it seems, from your own guidelines? It's disastrous all around. I mean, they just had layoffs recently. They're looking to make as much money as possible, Unity, and this is the worst way to go about it. And I feel like the damage, even if they backtrack on all of these new policies and don't go through with this January 1st, 2024, might be irreparable. Companies should stop hiring John Riccitiello. The man literally wanted to charge extra for ammunition in EA games. That should instantly disqualify him from being the leader of any company ever again. But crony capitalism is a real thing. And if you're in the club, you're in the club. It doesn't matter how much you screw up. But let's not go into politics here, because then, yeah, let's just not. Now, just to show you how shady Captain Let's Charge for Bullets is, John Riccitiello, the CEO of Unity, 6 days before this announcement was made, he sold 2,000 shares of his stock. Now, the company's stock has dropped 10% since this announcement, which I would have expected it to drop even more. But he knew it was coming. He knew that this would probably hit his shares, and he wanted to get his money out. Hey, I'll get my money out when the stock is up here, and after I make the announcement, it'll go down here, so it won't affect me financially. These people are terrible. They're just absolutely terrible. It just drives me insane how horrible and unethical these people are, and they're brazen about it. I'm sure that John Riccitiello knew that the share price would drop of Unity before he made this announcement, and that's why he pulled out. He pulled out and took his money, and if shareholders want him to be ousted from being CEO, he'll leave with the golden parachute, and then he'll go work for another company, and then he'll burn them to the ground, and then he'll leave with another parachute. Or he's in his 60s, who knows? Maybe this will be his final golden parachute, and then he'll just go, wipe away his crocodile tears on a yacht. Well, anyway, a person that I am actually an unironic fan of, DSP, because I find it very entertaining. He's like my reality TV show. A lot of people were saying he had a bad take on the Unity situation and saying that he was awful and cruel for it. I don't agree. He was not congratulating people for going after Unity. This is actually what he had to say about the situation. This comes from Snorthogan. It's a little clip towards the end. We'll watch it, then we'll discuss. Anyway, needed a sip of coffee. Let me preface this before we play the Phil video. Unity has now received credible threats. I have to leave it at that. To the point that they were supposed to have a town hall meeting to discuss these changes, and they had to shut down the Unity offices because the threats were credible and they didn't want to put any of the employees at risk. That is what Phil is talking about. Now, Phil, you could take it from here.
I want you to understand something. I don't condone that. I don't support it. But you decided to change your entire business model without consulting any of your customers or anyone in the industry purely on the notion of making more money, i.e. greed, and you could literally screw over entire game dev companies, and you might actually have people lose their livelihood because of your decision. What did you think was going to happen? People would be happy? Are you stupid? Yes, you are stupid. Rick DiCello, whatever the your dumbass name is, you're a fucking moron. And that's why people are reacting this way. They shouldn't be doing horrible crimes, but at the same time, when you're in the process of ruining people's lives for your own personal greedy reasons to satisfy the shareholders, what the did you think was going to happen? People were going to show up with gifts? You're a dunce, and you shouldn't be in charge of any company whatsoever.
It's amazing how Phil, out of nowhere, he usually has no self-awareness. Then he'll have this, like, one moment of clarity where he is 210% on point, and that is exactly what he is here. He's not condoning the threats that Unity is getting. That would be awful. He doesn't want to see anyone hurt, nor do I. And John, I know you're not a good guy, and you would do whatever you need to do to line your own pockets, and you don't care about anything else. But did anybody expect any other reaction? This could affect a lot of developers' livelihoods, no matter how successful their game is or how small their game is, or if they made a free-to-play game. But could you imagine if this was retroactive and like developers who made games for free in the Unity engine had to then pay a fee for a game they made no money off of? What bothers me is that this could put a lot of people's livelihoods on the line. And Unity doesn't care. John Riccatello doesn't care. They're like, oh, we're hemorrhaging money. We had to lay people off. I know. We will bite the hands that feed us, which is the developers from small to big who make mobile games to AAA games using our engine. We will bite their hands with like we're a rabid dog with foam coming out of our mouths because we need/want to make more money. There's already developers saying like, this is it. After this game, at least, we are not using the Unity engine anymore. There's developers that may switch their games to different engines to not deal with this. I don't know, man. I think Unity's days are numbered now. Even if they completely reverse their policies, I don't think they could come back from this, because then people will think, okay, we're using Unity now. Okay, yeah, they reversed those stupid changes they were going to make, which would have been awful for our bottom line. What happens a couple years from now if they decide, hey, yeah, you know, we got to bring those changes back where we have to charge per install for a game that someone already bought. Anyway, Phil's on point with this one. It's not okay to threaten the company, but at the same time, what did they expect? This could put people out of business if they have to rely on the Unity engine. And they just made these policies and didn't consult with anyone and didn't care. Phil couldn't be any more right about the situation if he tried. John, you should be ashamed of yourselves, and I have a feeling in a few years, Unity will be no more, unless there's a complete change of leadership. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. By the way, go to our merch store, link below in the description, and you can get yourself a Phil May 1st pixel art mug. You could drink coffee and get an explosion of satisfaction. Have a good one.